If you're on the webinar, then you're seeing on my home screen here a picture of our 3 products. Protandim True Science, which is the topical version that fights oxidative stress on the skin. And then we've got Canine Health, which is our newest addition to the LifeVantage product line. We only have 3, so we don't have a whole bunch of SKUs. We've got 3 products. Of course, Canine Health, as the name might suggest, is our dog version of Protandim. It's got other stuff in it. It's not just Protandim for dogs, although it certainly has that in it, but other things that help your 4-legged friends. So that is the extent of our product line right now, and we'll just jump right into this opportunity and how you can carve out a piece of it for you and your family for generations to come. It is willable. The LifeVantage opportunity is a willable business. As you build it, as you create it, it is an asset that you own. It is yours. And you can pass it down to generations. All right, so the next page here, this is a picture of the Protandim bottle, and you can read it for yourself. It is a scientifically based product. We now have, I've been saying 14 peer-reviewed studies. I keep forgetting that. Every time I get my head wrapped around whatever number we have, then another one comes in. So we have 15 now, 15 peer-reviewed studies. And if you have insomnia, and that's a problem for you, and you would like to get more sleep, well, take Protandim. For sure, I hear lots of testimonials of people that are sleeping better taking the product, but go to pubmed.gov and read 1 or more of those peer-reviewed studies. That should probably help you pass out. I know it does me. There are multiple syllabic words in there that I just can't even begin to fathom. So anyway, go and check out those peer-reviewed studies. So pubmed.gov is the repository for the U.S. government. Anything, any study that has been funded at least in part by the U.S. government, you can find on pubmed.gov. That's P-U-B as in boy, M-E-D as in dog, .gov. Type in our branded name Protandim, P-R-O-T-A-N-D-I-M, in the search field, and you will find all 15 peer-reviewed studies. Keep in mind that Protandim is not an ingredient. Some of these other companies will talk about going to PubMed and finding, you know, something about their product. Well, it's not their product by name. It is an ingredient, maybe, in their product that has been studied. But in this case, in our case, Protandim is not an ingredient. It is our branded product name. And you can go to pubmed.gov, type in Protandim, and find those 15 peer-reviewed studies. But what we can legally say about our product, based on the studies that have been performed, that there is an average of 40% reduction in oxidative stress in 30 days. An average of 40%, which means some are going to be greater and some are going to be smaller, right? And the average, in the aggregate, 40% reduction in oxidative stress. Oxidative stress, in layman's terminology, is rust. It is the cumulative effect of the negative byproduct of consuming oxygen and food in the cells. Just like the stuff that comes out of the tailpipe of your car, the emissions are not healthy, they're not clean. I would not suggest putting your lips around it, especially if it's hot. Well, the byproduct of the consumption of oxygen and food in the cells turns out some negative byproducts. Those are the oxygen free radical, among a couple of others, and the cumulative effect of those guys creates a condition known as oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is rust. We rust. We all rust. No one is immune to the condition of oxidative stress, and it attacks our organs, and our organ systems break down, and we become susceptible to different ailments. And we have the product, the only product known to man as we do this presentation tonight, the only product known to man that is clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress an average of 40% in 30 days. That, ladies and gentlemen, should excite the heck out of you. If it doesn't, then I don't know what would. If that doesn't fire you up, then your wood is probably wet. It is a category-creating supplement by the very fact that, as I just said, there's nobody else. Right now, as we do this presentation, there's nobody else. It is a category-creating supplement. And we've added, of course, to our product line, True Science, the topical version, with other skin care products within the True Science, I should say, other skincare ingredients within the True Science, and then Canine Health for your buddy, your best friend, your dog. Next, screen. Now we're shifting into opportunity. Again, this whole presentation tonight, we bill it as an opportunity meeting. I know that some people come expecting to get a whole lot of product in these presentations. I hate to disappoint you, but we're going to disappoint you if that's you. We call them opportunity meetings or opportunity presentations for a reason. We're here to talk about what's in it for you, right? That old radio station, the call letters WIIFM. What's in it for me? That's why you came here, and that's what we're going to talk about. There's other presentations where you can get more product-centric, you can get more, ingredient-centric or result-centric if that's what you're after. But tonight's presentation is not designed for that. This is, in fact, an opportunity presentation. So you want to talk opportunity, you have to address timing, the importance of timing. In real estate, the 3 keys, if you've ever been around it, if you've ever been around a realtor, you would know the 3 keys in real estate is what? Location, location, location. Well, in business, arguably, the 3 keys are timing, timing, and timing. Ask the people that invested in Microsoft 20 years ago, what that did for them today. It's assuming they still have holdings in that company or just recently liquidated it. Ask those people. Ask the people relative to network marketing, which LifeVantage is a network marketing company. No surprise there, right? Ask the people that got involved in Amway 50 years ago that stuck with it, how that served them today. Because whether or not you might be hanging up just on the word Amway, I don't know. Some people have a real negative disposition relative to Amway because it's one of the older, more established network marketing companies that people have been, in contact with somebody that's a distributor. But whatever you think about Amway, I don't really care because here's the fact of the matter. They do now, last year in 2012, they had their first $1 billion month. That's right. They did $1 billion, over 1B in a single month. They're now doing, something like 10 to 12 billion or more a year. They're ginormous, to use a word from Elf. Okay, so the critical thing is that you have to get involved early in business. You have to get involved early, and it's not just enough to get involved early. You have to stick it out, and you have to do your part. If you get involved early, you do your part, and you stick it out long term, then the chances of success for you are great. And that goes for any network marketing company. That goes for really any company, period. Ask the people in Herbalife that got involved in that thing 30 years ago and stuck it out, how it's treated them today. Okay, but there's really 4 phases to the economic S-curve. We might be taking you back to late high school or maybe early college if you studied economics and the S-curve and the importance of getting involved early. But there's just 4 phases to it. There's formulation. That's when the ideas come together. There's concentration. That's when the resources come together. There's momentum. Hopefully, if you're lucky enough to go long term, right? You go through a momentum curve. And that's characterized usually by lots and lots of money and sales and revenue coming into the company. And then eventually you can't stay in momentum forever. You can't. It is physically impossible to stay in momentum forever. Now you can flatten out and then go back into momentum if you're really, really good, like maybe Apple has done. But eventually you're going to go into what's called stabilization. And that's why they call it the S-curve, because it sort of takes on that shape of a really kind of linear S. Okay, a momentum phase is typically instigated by a period called critical mass, and critical mass is typically defined by a company that does somewhere between like $5 and $10 million a month in revenue, and then that thing just kind of shoots north. It shoots vertically. Okay, and you can see based on the screenshot here on this webinar, unless you're just driving like my friend heading for Minneapolis, the critical mass then, according to this graph, it's like about $100 million a year. Yeah, which is about between $5 to $10 million a month, because those are annual figures to the left. Those 200 million, 300 million, 400 million, those are annual figures. Okay, but eventually, like I said at the top, you will go into stabilization. You will go into stability. You can't stay in momentum phase forever. Okay? But the key here, identified by the star, actually we're a little further right of the star. The key is to get involved in a company before it goes into critical mass. Certainly before it goes into stabilization, but ideally before it goes into critical mass. And that's really where we are. We are somewhere, actually I would argue we're closer to the blue dot than the blue star. And that's key for you. Again, the three keys to business: timing, timing, and timing. And that's where you are. That's where we are as a company in our S-curve life cycle. All right, next slide. We're going to go through the compensation plan real fast here. I'm not going to drill down super deep. If you want to do that, we've got a couple of videos online at lifevantage.com. Our Senior VP of Sales, Ryan Thompson, goes through a fairly detailed compensation video for you. There's lots of resources on lifevantage.com or lvnmedia.com, which is another site where we posted some web, some podcasts, I want to say, from events gone by. Some great resources there. But let's just kind of cruise through the compensation plan. And these are the things that we're going to talk about. There's 6 different parts. And it's funny, we were talking, Skip Campbell was talking at Elite Academy about a presentation that he did, and he covered the 6. He covered the Fast Start bonus, he covered the Infinite Fast Start bonus, he covered the Fast Start bonus pool. I know there's 3 fasts and all 3 of those, kind of confusing, but we'll sort through it here in a second. Then the royalty commission, the unilevel, then the generational matching bonus, then the elite pool. And somebody raised their hand at the end of as he went through all of them, he was done. And somebody raised their hand at the end and they said, well, how do we know which one to pick? He thought it was like an or, like you can do the Fast Start bonus or the Infinite Fast Start bonus or the royalty commission. No, he said you get them all. It's not an or, it's an and. You get them all. And they were blown away by that. Of course, they joined. So let's go through each one of these individually. The Fast Start bonus is paid weekly. And now there's 2 really different pay periods here that we work with at LifeVantage. There is the monthly pay period, which is inclusive of the unilevel, the matching bonus. We're going to cover these again in a little bit. The unilevel, the matching bonus, and the elite bonus are paid monthly. On the 15th of every calendar month, the company cuts those commissions for the previous month. So like on the 15th of, well, we've already passed it, right? So the 15th of this month, the 15th of July, we were paid for June's cumulative commissions from the 1st through the 30th or 31st. I forget how many days we're in June. All right, so we've got that monthly pay period, but then we have a weekly pay period. And the Fast Start bonuses are paid out weekly. The first one is, and the Fast Start bonus and the Infinite Fast Start bonus are paid out weekly. So the Fast Start bonus will pay you every time you enroll a Vantage Pack distributor. So every time a new distributor comes in and purchases product, whether it's the Vantage Pack or whatever they purchase, you're going to earn 40%, provided, it's not on this slide, it should be, provided your auto ship amount, your recurring auto ship amount is set to a minimum of $200 or a minimum of $200, then you're going to earn 40%. If it's set under 200 but above 100, so it's got to be between 100 and 199, then you're going to earn 30% on any new distributor's purchases in the month that they enroll. Okay, you'll earn 30% on new preferred customers purchases. Now, a preferred customer is somebody that comes in and says, you know what, the opportunity for me, no thank you, not right now, or maybe not ever, not interested in being a network marketer or having another business responsibility, whatever their excuse may be. Okay, but I got to have that product, and that happens all the time. And if they see the ABC primetime video that aired on national television in 2005, and they don't say, give me that product, if they would say anything less than, I got to have that product, and I've had that happen before once in a while. It doesn't happen very often, but maybe, 1 in 15, 20 people say, that's not for me, you can't do anything for me, then honestly, I don't really think it's our obligation to continue their gene pool. I really don't think it's not really our obligation. It's not our responsibility, okay? So PCs are easy to gather. You show them the opportunity, as we're talking about tonight. They should see that video that aired on national television in 2005 on ABC Primetime News with John Quinones. And they want the product minimum. Lots of people want to become distributors as well, but 8 out of 10 people say, I want to be at least I want to get the product. I want to be a preferred customer. That's pretty easy. You earn 30% on their purchases as preferred customers. Okay, next slide. Here's the Infinite Fast Start bonus, and this can look confusing as heck because there's all kinds of little people figures and all kinds of dollar amounts, and I'm not going to go real detailed here. I don't think I have to. All you need to know is there's you at the top. It says you. Hopefully you've got a little better shape and color than that guy. But the first 3 people that you enroll, and those are the first 3 figures to the left of the dotted line. The first 3 people you're getting paid $210 on each. And that's why it says 210 underneath each one of those three. Okay, so you're earning 210 on each one of the first three people that you enroll. Well, a Vantage Pack costs $630. That is the price of a Vantage Pack, $630 plus tax if applicable. Okay, if you live in a non-sales tax state, there's no tax applied. But $630 plus tax if applicable and shipping, and that's always applicable because the company's got to ship it to you. So it's $630. I just talked $630 plus tax and shipping. You sign up your first three people, you get $210 plus $210 plus $210. Let's see, carry the three. That's $630. So basically, you've now recouped your initial investment. Plus, you have your business in a box, which is what a Vantage Pack is. You get product. You get to decide what product you want. There's like 3 or 4 different options there between the Protandim and the True Science and now the Canine Health. You can do a sort of a mix-up, mix it, whatever combination you want. They've got packages already created, so you get to pick. You got the product, you've got marketing materials, you got your distributor kit, which has got great stuff in there, videos and audio. And I mean, it's a business in a box for $630. And you sign up 3 people, 210 plus 210 plus 210, $630. You've now recouped your initial investment and still have the asset in the Vantage Pack. You have the value of it. And truth told, if you added up the retail value or even the wholesale value of the product that comes in the box, it's worth more than what you paid for it. In other words, you could sell it for retail, suggested retail, or even wholesale and get more money back than you paid to become a Vantage Pack distributor here at LifeVantage. Every person after your third person that you enroll, you're going to get paid $50 more than you did on the first 3. So now you're getting $260 per person that you enroll, starting person number 4 and on. Every person that you enroll on a Vantage Pack, you're going to get $260 in commissions. And that's cool. And that pays weekly as well. This is all just like the last one, just like the Fast Start bonus. The Infinite Fast Start bonus pays weekly. Okay, so far I've really covered the Fast Start part of it, not the Infinite Fast Start part, just the Fast Start part of it. We're going to start now talking about the Infinite Fast Start part of it. Okay, starting with person 4 and on. Okay, their first 3 people that they enroll, and their first 3 people that they enroll, and their first 3 people, and their first 3 people, and their first 3 people, all the way to China, unless you live in China, in which case I would say all the way back to the US. You're going to earn $50 per person. Comes back to you. Which is really cool, because what this teaches, what this incentivizes, or what it should incentivize you to do, is you work with your people that you bring in, which is your obligation anyway. You're giving birth to new people, you've got to teach them. You've got to mentor them. Okay, if you sponsor them, you have to mentor them, otherwise don't. But otherwise don't sponsor them is what I meant. So starting with person 4 that you enroll, the 4th person and on, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th of your personally sponsored Vantage Pack distributors. Every time they enroll a Vantage Pack distributor, their first 3, I should say, their first 3 people that they sponsor, and each of their first 3, and each of their first 3, and each of their first 3, all the way to infinity, you're going to earn $50 back to you. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Now, as soon as you sponsor your 5th Vantage Pack distributor, this happens all again, right? Because it's starting with person 4 and on. So the 5th person that you enroll, the first 3 they get, and the first 3 they get, and the first 3 they get, on down to infinity, pays you $50. But it also triggers the comp plan to come back to the first 3 people that you sponsored, to the left of the dotted line now. To the left, we're back to the left of the dotted line, and starting with each one of those first 3, starting with their 4th person, you're going to earn $35. Okay, with the 4th person that they enrolled, you're going to earn $35, and their first 3 people, you're going to earn $35, and their first 3 people, and their first 3 people, again, all the way to infinity, you're going to earn $35 off of those people to the left of the dotted line. If it sounds confusing, I apologize. It sort of is, but I'm trying to make the most of it. For those of you driving it, you're probably just, don't crash. Maybe you should pull over because it is confusing. All right, as soon as you sponsor your 10th Vantage Pack distributor, of which you're going to be earning the 50s all the way down to infinity, and now triggers a plan to come back to the people, starting with your 4th, 5th, 6th, and on, and now you're going to earn $35 on that side of the equation, in addition to the 50. starting with their fourth person. The fourth person that each of those folks enroll, and their first three, and their first three, and their first three. Here's what you need to know. If this is just super duper confusing, I understand, but here's all you need to know. Work with your people. Work with them. Work in depth. Teach people how to duplicate, and this whole thing takes care of itself. All right, next slide. Before people start to hang up on me. Fast Start Bonus Pool. Now here comes the monthly part, the beginning of the monthly part of your commission structure that gets paid on the 15th of every calendar month. 5% of all new revenue that comes into the company. New revenue is represented by new enrollments, the product that is purchased by the new people that join that month. Not repeat business from people that signed up last month, but business that is created in the current month. 5% of all that volume gets thrown into a pool and divided up evenly by people who go out and do a very simple thing. That's enroll 3 Vantage Pack distributors. When you go out and sell 3 Vantage Packs to different people, okay, you sell 3 Vantage Packs to 3 different people, you enroll 3 new distributors who purchase a Vantage Pack, you earn 1 share in that Fast Start bonus pool. Enroll 6, you earn an additional share. So it's multiples of 3. 9, you now get 3 shares. Okay, and the Fast Start bonus pool, the payout will per share varies, obviously based because it's a function of how much new revenue came into the company in that month, right? Off of new enrollments and new enrollment purchases. And it's also a function of the number of people who qualify. So what we're talking about here is the size of the pie will vary based on how much revenue came in that month, and the slice of the pie will vary based on the number of people who qualify to get a slice. That makes perfect sense, right? So can't really talk to you about how much that share is going to be. We know how much it's been historically, but I don't know how much it's going to be this month or the next month because it's a function, again, of 2 things that we're not in control of, which is revenue in the current calendar month and the number of people who qualify. All right, next slide. Okay, here comes the royalty commission. If you think the infinite Fast Start bonus was complicated, you're probably not going to do too well on this either. This, in fact, might look like Japanese geometry to you, unless, of course, you're from Japan, in which case it would probably look like American geometry. But basically what we're talking about here is ranking through our pro ranks. In terms of our pins, we didn't use precious stones and metals like everybody else. We decided to go with something a little easier, a little unique. You don't have to remember too much. It's just Pro 1 through Pro 10. Initially, in fact, you're not even a Pro 1. Initially, when you sign up, you're just a distributor. I don't mean to say just because you're here, so we embrace you and we love you. But we just call you a distributor when you enroll. You have to earn the rank of Pro 1. And you earn the rank of Pro 1 by having $1,000 in OV. OV is organizational volume. Organizational volume is any volume that you purchase for your own consumption and any volume that anybody below you has purchased for their consumption or retail or whatever they're going to do. Okay? So anybody that you sign up would count for your organizational volume. Anybody that they sign up would count for your organizational volume, and anything that you purchase counts as well for your organizational volume. So all you need is $1,000 in organizational volume in order to be a Pro 1. $1,000 can be achieved very, very quickly because let's say that you enroll this month. You're a brand new distributor, which is probably the case for a lot of you on this webinar tonight. You enrolled this month. Well, of your $630 that you paid for your Vantage Pack, $400 of it is commissionable volume. The other $230 is non-commissionable marketing tools. Okay, so 400 of it, though, is commissionable volume. So if you signed up, you're at 400 already. You're almost halfway there just with your own enrollment. You enroll 2 more people. You don't even get all 3 of them that you need to get your initial investment back. You just go out and enroll 2 more people. You now have 400 times 3. Let's see again, carry the 2. That's 1,200 in volume that you have, okay, in your very first month. You are a Pro 1 in your first month. And that can happen, and it happens all the time. Okay, Pro 2 is 2,500 in organizational volume. You can just follow the chart on down. Pro 3 is 5,000 in organizational volume, but now you have to have a minimum of 2 legs. Previously, you could do it all in one leg. In other words, one person that you sponsor frontline to you. All that volume, the 1,000 or the 2,500 could have been all done in that one organizational leg off of you. But now to be a Pro 3, you have to have 2 frontline personally sponsored distributors with a total between both legs of 5,000 organizational volume. The maximum they're going to allow you to count out of your biggest leg is 80% of that 5,000 or 4,000. 4,000 of it can come out of one leg, and the other remaining 1,000 has to come out of at least one other leg. It could be 3 legs, it could be 4 legs, it doesn't matter. It just can't all come out of one. The most they're going to allow you to count is 4,000 or 80% of the 5,000. Okay? And then you can just follow the chart on down. Pro 4 is 10,000 organizational volume, 2 legs, 80% countability out of your biggest leg. Pro 5, and this is really critical here, Pro 5. I tell all my new distributors, Pro 5 is really where you should be looking. Pro 10 is not where you should be looking. I know that is your ultimate goal. I'm not saying you shouldn't be using it as the moon. Okay, but there are several steps between here and the moon that you have to meet before you land. And Pro 5 should be the first step that you're looking towards landing. And the reason for that is at Pro 5, the company recognizes you as a future leader so much that they are willing to invest additional monies in you and fly you at their expense. You can leave your wallet at home. They fly you at your expense to Salt Lake City, Utah. They pick you up in a limousine. They transport you up, and this happens every 3 months, every quarter. They transport you up to Park City, the ski resort area, and it's beautiful whether it's snowing or not. And they put you up in the resort, one of the resorts up there, and you're up there for 2 days with colleagues like yourself that are also new Pro 5 qualified distributors here at LifeVantage, and they fly in top elite distributors to teach you how to get to the elite ranks, which are 7, 8, and 9. So Pro 5 is a big, big deal. And we know statistically that people that get to the Pro 5 Summit, as we call it, are much, much more likely to advance and get to the elite ranks than those who don't. In other words, they don't typically just get to Pro 5 and then stagnate, typically. They typically advance through the ranks as a result of attending the Pro 5 Summit. So that is a critical, critical step for you. You want to get to Pro 5. Pro 6 is 50,000 organizational volume. Maximum countability is 70%, just like Pro 5. 70% countability out of your biggest leg. 70% of the volume required, I should say, of the volume required to hit that rank. So at Pro 5, 20% is what you need to hit the rank. 20,000 organizational volume. Maximum countability out of your biggest leg is 70%, which is 14,000. 14,000 maximum countability out of your biggest leg. The other 6,000 of your 20 has to come from outside legs. Okay, and then you can just march right down. Pro 6 is 50,000, Pro 7 is 100,000, Pro 8 is 200,000, Pro 9 is 500,000, and the granddaddy of them all, Pro 10, is $1 million in organizational volume running through your organization. Now you have to have 3 legs. Starting at the elite ranks, Pro 7, Pro 8, Pro 9, and Pro 10, you have to have a minimum of 3 legs in order to have that volume all count for you. But hey, by the time you get there, you'll understand the comp plan very, very well. In fact, by the time you get to the Pro 5 Summit, you'll understand the compensation plan very well and how to have proper balance in order to hit those upper ranks. But at Pro 7, that's when, after you hold Pro 7 for 12 months, the pictures of the Jeeps that you will see on Facebook or wherever you happen to see them, Pro 7, and you hold that rank for 12 consecutive months is when you get that Jeep. And I'm not talking about a lease agreement on a Jeep. I'm not talking about, you know, a monthly purchase towards a Jeep at Pro 7 after holding that position for 12 consecutive months. I'm talking about a title. I'm talking about a title to a brand new Jeep Wrangler at Pro 7 after maintaining it for 12 consecutive months. It's yours. It is absolutely yours. Now, we just announced a new program at Elite Academy in Denver where you can get your Jeep sooner if you want it, and those details will be posted on the web here pretty soon if they're not already up. I think an email just went out, in fact, just before I got on this call, that will cover it for you. But anyway, that's a way to get a Jeep, get a brand new vehicle branded with LifeVantage and travel with us as we go and check out new places around the country. All right, so that's the unilevel. Let me go next, or royalty commission, I should say. Wow, so here's a slide. I guess I should have seen this earlier. Here's a slide of compensation examples of what you might expect to be paid if you have an organization that fills out like this. Again, this is just an illustration. This isn't a guarantee. Your organization may grow out like this. It may not grow out like this. In fact, the chances of it growing out like this are like slim and none. And Slim just got on his horse and rode out of Dodge, because this is like a perfect matrix growth right here. But the first level of the unilevel, the royalty commission pays out 2%. So any volume that occurs on your first level, which is anything that you've pretty much personally sponsored, is on your front level. The company adds all of that volume up, however much it is, multiplies that number by 2% and pays you that check. So here in this example, if you have a total of 5 distributors with each $200 in is that right? 1,000, 2. Anyway, a total of 200 in volume. Oh yeah, so each one of them has 200. You have 200, that's where I'm getting. Each one of them has 200. You have 200, and each one of your frontline distributors have 200, for a total of not 2,000, but 2,200, multiplied by the 2%. Is that right? That's not right. Anyway, I guess I should have done the math before I got on here. Anyway, so number of distributors, second level, 25. Okay, yeah, and each one of them, this is calculating each one of them at 200 in personal volume. So each one of their orders is 200. 5% on that line pays you $275. Now on your third level, you've got 125 people. That level, the third level, pays you 9%. So a total payout on that third level in this example only would be $2,475 just paid out on the third level. Of course, you're getting the second level and the first level as well. On the fourth level in this example, you have 625 people, $200 each in auto ship volume times 5%. It's $68.75 on that level. And if you just keep going all the way down, it becomes absurdly huge money in this example. Okay, because you've got 1,953,125 people, individual distributors, on your ninth level, with each ordering $200. Again, this is like utopia. But it gives you an idea of what is possible. What is possible. Okay, not very probable in this example, but what is possible. Now you're looking at a ninth level payout, just on the ninth level alone, of $8,593,750 in this example. Okay, and there's a disclaimer at the bottom. I should probably read it for those of you that are driving. The LifeVantage compensation plan is new and unique. Any charts, illustrations, and stated examples of income under the plan are potential in nature. We should probably underscore that. And not based upon the actual performance of any individual. But I would challenge you to go out and prove this disclaimer wrong. I want it to be based upon the actual performance of a individual. Make it you. That would be really cool if you could. All right, next slide. The generational matching bonus is another great part of our compensation plan that teaches you, that incentivizes you for sticking with your personally sponsored distributors, but not just them, working in depth underneath them. And the reason for that is, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay you a 10% matching bonus on the unilevel royalty commission checks of the people that you sponsor. So if you sponsored me, okay, if you enrolled me, you would earn 10% match on whatever my royalty commission check, just that part of my check, not including the fast start bonus, not including the infinite fast start bonus. Okay, just on the unilevel or the royalty commission portion of the compensation plan, you would get a 10% matching check back on what I made in that portion of the plan. They don't take the money from me. I keep what I get. But the company takes it out of the revenues that come into the company and pays you a matching check of 10% of what I earn in that potential of that particular part of the plan. That's alliteration. Particular part of the plan. Okay, 10% goes back to you. Now, anybody, let's just stick with this example. You sponsored me. Anybody that I get, you earn a 5% match back to you on anybody that I get. Okay, so let's say I sponsor person A. You would get a 5% matching bonus check on the royalty commission of person A. That goes back to you. I would get 10% on person A because I sponsored them. Just like you got 10% on me because you sponsored me, I would get 10% on person A. You would get 5% on person A. Person A sponsors person B. You get 5% on person B. Person B sponsors person C. You get 5% on person C. Person C sponsors person D. You get 5% on person D. And the chain stops there for you. It would continue another level for me, but it stops there for you. There are 5 generations in sponsorship generations, or generations of sponsorship, however you want to say it. There are 5 generations that pay you. 10% on your personals, on your personally sponsored distributors, and another 5% down 4 additional generations of sponsorship gets paid back to you on that part of their commissions. In the royalty part of the commission structure, that is what that matching bonus is fixed on, and it is awesome. It is awesome. Okay, so keep in mind, this again is additional incentive for you to work closely with the people that you enroll, and teach them to work closely with the people they enroll, and then you can also jump down in depth and help them. All right. So that's the generational matching bonus, another really cool part of our compensation plan. Again, these are not ors. It's not you get this or the previous slide, you get them all. All right, this part of the plan is another part that gets people really, really excited about joining this company, particularly career network marketers. Okay, people that have been around this game for a while and understand its power, they really get excited about this part of the plan. And the reason for it is they understand, and as I explain it to you, so will you, they understand that they can get involved in LifeVantage today, work really, really hard for however long it takes to hit the elite rank starting at Pro 7. That's the elite ranks. It goes Pro 1, 2, and 3, and then Premier, Pro 4, 5, and 6, and then Elite, Pro 7, 8, and 9, and then Master, Pro 10. So they work really hard, really diligently to hit the elite ranks as quickly as possible, and as soon as they enter into the elite ranks at Pro 7, they now get to share in the revenue that's not just being created today, but in all the revenue that has been created since the beginning of LifeVantage 4.5 years ago. And that continued auto ship volume, those recurring orders that continue as a result of work that was done 4.5 years ago when we kicked this thing off, they now get to dip into that. That excites them, and it should excite the heck out of you. Here's how it works. The company takes 4% of total global commissionable volume. This is volume created by product purchases from in all the markets where we're open. The United States and its territories, Japan, Hong Kong, Australia, Mexico, and now Canada, which we just kicked off here a few weeks ago. Any and all of that revenue that is created from all of those markets that we've been building for the last, again, 4.5 years, plus or minus, okay? 4% of that revenue goes into this kitty, and it's divided out like this. It's basically quartered. They just draw into 4 equal amounts. Okay, so it's 4%. It's 1% into 4 corners, and it's paid out like this. The first 25% of that pool, or 1% total of total company commissionable volume, is divided and paid equally to the elite Pro 7s, the elite Pro 8s, the elite Pro 9s, and the Master Pro 10s. They share equally in that first 1%. The second 1% of the 4% total is shared equally by the Pro 8s, 9s, and 10s. So the elite 8s, 9s, and Master 10s share in that second 1%, or 25% of that 4% pool. Okay? The third 1% is shared equally by the 9s and 10s. And there's a pattern developing here now, right? So I guess you could probably figure out that the last 1% is just shared equally by the Master Pro 10. So if you're a Master Pro 10, you are not just dipping into this thing once. You are not just double dipping. You are not just triple dipping. You are quadruple dipping into this 4% pie, because you're getting an equal share of each of the 1% quarters that this pool makes up. And that is absolutely huge. And so again, the moral to this story, or this particular part of the compensation plan, is get to the elite ranks as quickly as you possibly can, because once you hit them, you are now sharing in the revenue that this company is creating on a monthly basis, or has, that's created today as a result of work that was done long before you probably ever heard the name LifeVantage or the product name Protandim. And that's really, really cool. So that's the elite pool. I guess that's it. This is the final slide here, and it has a picture again. We're back to the photograph of the three products, Protandim, True Science, and Canine Health. I hope for all of you new guests that were on the line tonight, this was a help to you. I hope that we were able to paint maybe a much clearer picture than was previously painted for you as to the LifeVantage opportunity and how lucrative this opportunity is to get involved in this company at this early stage. Again, we're 4.5 years in, but by comparison to our network marketing counterparts out there, and we all share one thing in common. We certainly don't share products in common. We don't. Nobody, I think we already established at the top of the call, nobody has Protandim. But we all share one product in common, all network marketing companies, and that is called the opportunity. Every network marketing company has an opportunity. Okay? But you can get involved, certainly, in some of these older, more established network marketing companies. You can. They have an opportunity for you, just like we do. The difference is the timing of, say, some of those older companies. I won't name them. We talked about a couple of them earlier. The timing isn't as good 25, 30, 50 years later. It's just not. Just like the timing of buying stock in Microsoft or Apple today isn't as good as it was 20 years ago. Okay, and we talked about the importance and business of timing. The timing here in LifeVantage arguably is better today than it was 4 years ago, because 4 years ago we didn't have nearly the foundation. We didn't have the web presence. We didn't have the marketing materials, the brochures. We didn't have, our events weren't as good as they are today. Arguably, the opportunity for LifeVantage is better today, 4.5 years in, than it was 4.5 years ago. So I hope the guests on the call tonight will take the opportunity, leap onto this opportunity here at LifeVantage. Get back, please, to the person that invited you onto this call or this webinar, and let them know that you're ready to start your business here with us at LifeVantage. And with that, appreciate everybody being on the call tonight, and the webinar, I should say. I'll get that straight eventually. And this one is officially in the books. Bye-bye for now, everybody. Take care.